Hello everyone and welcome back to the vlog. I am so excited. It is another week of reading, and this week is a very special week because we are going to close out my Crescent City journey. So I guess you can probably guess what I am reading this week, and I am going to be finishing Crescent City House of Flame and Shadow. I am 70% of the way in when I'm starting this vlog, and so I fully intend to finish it in the next couple of days and try to just knock that off because I am ready for it to be over. So that will be our main priority for a minute, like the first half of the week. And then as I have time, I recently started an audiobook, and that is Dial A for Aunties by Daisy Haites. I'm about 60 pages into it. I'm already having such a good time with it. I recently read Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Daisy Haites and absolutely loved it, and am really enjoying my time with this one as well. I'll get into the whole story overview a little bit later when I've read a little bit more of it, but I am loving the aunties. Like, that is such a fantastic piece for me. They're just always meddling and they never want to hold themselves responsible for their actions, but then they just don't trust anybody else either, and it is just so funny. So I'm really enjoying my time with this so far. And then after I finish House of Flame and Shadow, I'm going to pick up my first ever graphic novel, and I'm really excited about it because I have acquired from my friend Darlene Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, and I've heard such amazing things about this series, so I'm really excited to just have something like fluffy and just a palette cleanser, something that won't take too long to read, because I've been reading House of Flame and Shadow for 6 days now and I am ready to be done with it, so I'll probably knock this out in not even an entire night and then be ready to move on to my next read, which is TBD because I really can't think that far ahead. But before we really get going, first, I definitely didn't say this, but it is Monday afternoon now. I just wrapped up work and Dylan and I are going to go pick up Scooter from daycare, and then I'll probably spend the night reading. But I alluded to this in my last weekly vlog and I am committing. I am saying it here, so I'm committing to posting weekly vlogs every week. So I had really big plans for myself this year. Great plans, huge plans, but I am overwhelmed and kind of a soft girl, and I don't want to be like super tough or anything. I'm just gonna listen to what my mind needs right now because I am in grad school, and grad school takes up a lot of mental capacity for me. And so I need to focus on that for now, and I'm going to do that until I finally graduate in October this year. So I want to commit to posting once a week, just my weekly vlog, because I also want it to be my video diary and to just take you, myself, everybody around me along on this journey as I kind of document what's going on and just enjoy that. Just enjoy the prospects of it. They are my favorite videos to film, even though they don't do nearly as well as my other more themed videos, but I really enjoy them and I think that's the important part for now. So I'm not saying I won't like never post more than once a week, but they'll just be like add-ons. They'll just be like funsies, just fun, just for fun. If I feel like it, if I have the mental capacity to do it, I will, but I'm not going to push myself, but I would like to be consistent. So hopefully that's helpful for you all. I don't really know what day I want to commit to posting, like either Tuesday or Wednesday would be ideal, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So let's go ahead and get on with our night so that we can get to reading. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning now, and I'm actually working from home today because there was like a COVID scare at the office, so I am so lit because that means I get to wake up later, I get to have my coffee, wear comfy clothes. So I'm a very happy camper this morning. But a quick reading update. I am now 85% of the way through Crescent City, House of Flame and Shadow. And so that means we are in the last 100-ish pages of the book. So we know everything is about to hit the fan. Like everything that is going to happen is about to just blow up. So I am so excited to get into that later. I was reading it up until bedtime last night and I was like, no, I need to stop here. Like you're at the 100-page mark. It's about to get crazy and you won't get any sleep if you keep going. So I'm very much looking forward to getting into that after work. Something funny that I think is happening is there are obviously a bunch of different points of view, but like not first person points of view. There's, I think it's third person narration. So we are just bouncing around to all of these different storylines. And given in a world as big as this one, I know that I'm gonna dislike or not be as invested in some of the storylines, but we just really focused on one storyline last night for too long, and I was like, I don't really care. Like, I just want to move on. I don't know how this specific thing is going to enhance the plot. And I'm sure it'll all come back around. But at that time last night, I was just like, let's move on. Like, let's see what's going on with the main characters. But all of that aside, I definitely have some more mixed feelings on this. I don't think I described Crescent City 3 because you can't. It's really a third book in a series. So anything that you say about it will be almost a spoiler. So it is the third book in a series. I'm really enjoying it. The plot is definitely, I mean, it's about to explode. So I'm very much looking forward to that. The characters I have really become endeared to, and some new characters too in this book specifically. So I've really enjoyed getting to know them as well. And I'm really looking forward to how this entire series is going to round out. So that is all of that. And now I'm going to log on to work, hopefully knock out a good chunk of work today, and then get on to some reading. I really don't have too many plans until starting Thursday this week. I'll have more plans, but I am really just basking in not having anything to do and just spending my time reading and hanging out before I also get my grad school project back, and then I have to start on the next project because they build on top of each other, so I don't want to start before I've gotten the feedback for the last one. So all of that aside, we are just reading right now, and I'm very thankful for it because I want to knock this book out so bad. This is day 7 of reading it, so I am over it, is what I am. But let's get into the workday, and hopefully it flies by. Alright everyone, it is the end of Tuesday now, so I've just wrapped up work and I am so excited to now get into Crescent City, House of Flame and Shadow. That is the only thing that we are doing tonight, and I will not stop reading it until I am done. But I just got my Book of the Month books, so I thought that I would share them with you all. So my February pick was Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, and I am so excited about this. This is an accidental pregnancy trope, and I think that it's going to be really interesting. I've personally never read one of them, and I tended to stay away from it because I don't know why really, but I was just like, I don't think that's something I'd really be interested in. But it sounds like in here, our main character, Eve, she wasn't obviously planning it. It was an accidental pregnancy, and so her best friend seems to be a little bit more tense around her. So her best friend's brother ends up stepping up and trying to help out with her during the pregnancy. And so, you know, I think it's going to be such a wholesome, good time. And all of the early reviewers absolutely love this book. So I'm very thankful for them telling me that if I try to stay away from the accidental pregnancy trope, to just disregard that and just go into this book because it'll be so worth it. So I am really excited about that. It's about 400 pages, so for a romance book, it's a little bit thicker, but I'm assuming it's because it'll have a bunch of different elements in it. And then the day that I actually just get one book from Book of the Month will be an absolute miracle. So I got The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chachki as my add-on pick. And I am so excited about this one because all of my mutuals recently, it seems like, have been reading this and everybody loves it. The writing, they say, is so lush and inviting, but it also has some more like gothic elements to it. So it's about this man and this woman who get married on the condition that he never looks into her past, but something comes up where her past is being brought up, and so I think their marriage is going to be challenged, and I think some secrets are going to be uncovered. So I am really looking forward to it. I think that one, this cover is so beautiful, and then two, it's a standalone adult fantasy that's under 300 pages. So basically a unicorn, and I can't wait to get into it and just really enjoy my time with it. So those are the books that I got this month. I love a book subscription service personally, but I am going to go walk Scoot with Dylan and then make dinner, and then I will probably actually walk and read at the same time so that I can get some more steps in and just feel better about that. So let's go do that and try to knock this book out. Okay, everyone, good morning. It is Wednesday morning now, and I have some great news, and that is that I finished Crescent City House of Flame and Shadow, and I am so thankful. It took every bit of last night to finish it, and my Kindle says I was at 88%, and I sat down to read it like 7:15, and it took until 9:30. And 12% in 2 hours is absolutely insane to me. Like that, just a lot of thoughts. But by the end of it, I had a headache, and now I am looking back on my journey and thinking, oh my gosh, I think that I have adverse reactions to this series at this point because it is just so much on my brain and my overall mental health, honestly, because this has been such a whirlwind. Do I put a lot of that pressure on myself? Surely, but also, I mean, I really didn't want this series to be spoiled for me. I really needed to be in line with everybody else, and to be fair, everybody's done a pretty good job so far of not talking about it yet. But I mean, yesterday was a week since it had been released, so I was like, it's gonna start happening soon. You can only put it off for so long. I'm trying to think about the ending. And like, I don't want to give anything away, but I do think that there was just a nice bow put on this series. It feels like it just rounded out. A lot of questions were answered, but also I had a few left unanswered, so I was pretty surprised by that. I feel like we got what we needed, but it just wasn't anything, I think, mind-blowing. And also, I saw somebody's review on this and they gave it 5 stars, and they said when you managed your expectations of this book and ended up really enjoying the masterpiece that it was. And I hear that. I hear it. I don't think that I fully accept it because I mean, I have seen Miss Mass in action. I know she can do fantastic things, and I think that this book was really good. But I also feel as though it was very long, given this is a long, like, page count wise series. But I felt like the information dumps were just so intense, and honestly could have probably been done a little bit better. I don't know, I feel like I really enjoyed Bryce's character. I mean, we always love a scheming, like, main female character who is always on top of it and 3 steps ahead of everybody else. That is par for the course in her worlds, and I eat it up every time. But I'm not really sure if there's anywhere else for this series to go, which is interesting. I'm not gonna say anything else about it because it's just done now. But I gave it 4 stars. I think that's where I'm gonna land on this series. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star series for me because, like, ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, those are 5-star series for me. Those I was super invested in. I loved all the characters, the plots. I felt like they were all so well executed, and I was just like flying through them, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. And for Crescent City, it felt more so like I had to instead of wanting to. Then also, I was comparing it, and I think I stand by that Crescent City 1 was my favorite in the series, and I think it would go Crescent City 3 in second place, and then Crescent City 2 in third. So I think that's my final decision there. 4-star series, definitely my least favorite. So in my mind, it would go Throne of Glass would be number 1, just peak literature. Absolutely loved everything about it. And then ACOTAR and then Crescent City. But that's not to say that Crescent City is bad. It's still really entertaining, but it was just not my favorite, which is okay. Not all of them are going to be. And I just feel like this huge burden has been lifted off of my shoulders. I am just so happy right now. So I'm really excited to go to work. I actually have like an all-day summit today. That's why I am dressed up more than usual, because you all have seen my work outfits at this point. But I'm gonna do that all day, and then I think I'm gonna come home. I got my first project back for grad school, and I got a solid meets project requirements, and so the like above and beyond is exceeds, and then below is does not meet. So I'm at like a solid C at this point. So the professor submitted some feedback, so I think I'm gonna address that, resubmit it so that I can start working on project 2 this weekend. And then I would like to also start editing last week's vlog tonight. And so I think that's going to be my plan there. I only want to read for like an hour or so tonight, because this is a really big update before work. Wow. But I really value the time that I get to read. No doubt about that. But when it is the only thing that I've been doing after work, like sitting down for 2 to 3 hours to read, I think that's where I get lost in the sauce. Maybe that's maybe why I was having so many headaches and just feeling very anxious, because that was the only thing I was doing, and it felt like I wasn't making any progress because it was an 800-page book. So I'm really excited tonight to do things other than read. It'll be like a little bit of a transition, but I'm really excited about that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm gonna read Heartstopper, and I can't wait. Just like a cute graphic novel. It won't take very long, so I think that's gonna be my main focus tonight, and then maybe tomorrow we'll pick out the next read. But yeah, that was a very big update before going into work, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I will be checking in tonight once this work day is over. So I'll see you all then. You guys, it is Wednesday evening now, and I just had to pop on here like no makeup, no nothing. And so that's how you know that this is an important update. But I just finished Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, and oh my gosh, I get the hype. I get it. These characters are so cute, and I kind of had some reservations about reading a graphic novel. Like, how am I going to be conveyed all of the feelings that are typically in a book when there are so few words, when it's really just a bunch of like pictures communicating to you? And I am here to tell you that every fine line of a blush on Nick and Charlie's face, I was like reading it like it was a Bible, like it was my truth. And I am just so happy with it. They were so cute, and like I just want to give Charlie like the biggest hug, because he's like stupid, 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 falling for a straight guy. But Nick seems to kind of like him too, but Nick doesn't really know yet what he likes, and it's just very sweet and so endearing, and I am so happy that I read this. I needed this so badly after House of Flame and Shadow. I just needed something quick and easy, and this is exactly what that was. It was just like straight serotonin going into my veins. I was just sitting downstairs like smiling and giggling and kicking my feet, and I was like, Dylan, but like I didn't know how to describe it to him. So I was like, this is just so cute. Like the only thing that I can say about this is so cute, and I'm so happy with it. And I'm asking my friend Darlene to bring the second book tomorrow. Did I already put all of the books into my Amazon cart? Yes, but I need the next book right now. So just needed to share that with you all, because I think that that needed a live reaction, and I'm gonna be so happy watching this back and just remembering the amount of joy that I had on this Wednesday evening after last night, when I was like like head in a brain fog, just hurting because I had been binging this 800-page book for so long. So this was absolutely perfect. Do I know what I'm going to pick up next? No, but we are going to just stare at the bookshelf in my February TBR for a minute and then hopefully read a chapter or two of that before heading to bed. So that's the update. I loved it and I'm so happy with it, and we'll protect these characters at all costs. So don't mess with them. All right. Happy Friday, everyone. How absolutely exciting. I'm so happy to be here. This week has been so long for absolutely no reason. So I am really looking forward to the weekend. I think it's actually going to be a rainy weekend, so we are going to lay pretty low and just enjoy the rainy, cozy vibes. So you all saw that the book that I decided to pick up was none other than Daisy Haites by Daisy Haites, and I am already just thinking I'm going to get hurt again. Just 100% this book is going to wreck me. But I wanted to say a few things about it before we get into it, because this is going to be really interesting and I'm very excited for this storyline. So our girl Daisy Haites is the sister to Julian Haites, who is a gang lord in this like high society London, and it is already very entertaining because he just has a bunch of people that he's always has around, and she's the little sister but also like the matriarch because they don't have parents anymore. And I think we're going to get into how that all happened, but it's really interesting because Daisy is in medical school, and so she like takes care of the home, but then she's also, you can tell, very driven and really wants to help people, and I really like that. And I feel like I already like her more than Magnolia. I think because of those like concepts, like she's the sister to a gang lord, so she is always like training so that she can defend herself. She is in school trying to better herself, and the only part that I think that I'm really going to struggle with is her friends with benefits relationship with Christian, because it just you can already tell that she's starting to get feelings for him, and it's just going to crush me in the end. And it's also interesting because this timeline in this book takes place at the same timeline as Magnolia Parks, the first book, and so we already kind of know how this is going to happen from a high level point of view. So now we're definitely going to get into it a bit more and just see like from these characters' points of views, like what was happening, how it all led up to the blowout, and I think it's just going to be interesting. But I want more Julian. Like, so we have 3 points of view, I guess. So we're getting a little bit of Julian because he's one point of view, and then we have Daisy, and then we also have Christian. And in Magnolia Parks, we saw that he was really caught up on Magnolia, and we're still seeing it in here, even though Daisy is objectively, I think, a better person and somebody that I would feel better falling for. But they are just like so tough. They don't do exclusivity, and yeah, so very interesting. These are such like trashy books, and but I can't look away. Like, I love them. I think it's so fun. And I'm actually like kind of tabbing. I don't know if you can see like any of the tabs. There's only like 4 so far, but I'm just tabbing when I see something that like really stands out to me. If something's funny, I don't have a system. I'm just tabbing whenever I feel like something's memorable. So this is fun. I am about 40 pages in, and I'm hoping to cover a lot this weekend because I need to have it read for book club on Wednesday of next week. So that it, oh, actually, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the vlog, but I had a lot of time yesterday in the car, so I read a pretty good amount of Dial A for Aunties by Daisy Haites, and it is just so like unbelievable and hilarious. So I am about 50% of the way into this book now, and I don't know how it's gonna wrap up. I think that this is just so funny because so on the back of the book we know that there is a dead body involved and the aunties try to help their like niece, I guess, um hide it, but they are in charge of this wedding day that's on this island, and so they put the body in like a cooler, and they were like, oh, we'll deal with it like in the morning, but then the cooler makes it over to the island, and so they're just like trying to get this cooler back to the mainland so nobody just opens the cooler and there's just a dead body in it. And they are just so funny going about it, and there's like these little squabbles amongst the aunties, but then Medi also has her like college boyfriend who's like she's been pining after ever since, and you get to see in the book why she ended it. But now that they have seen each other again, it's like everything is just coming rushing back. And so I'm really hoping that this all works out, because I always feel like in these stories when they're talking about, I always feel like when it is more of the cultural norms to just have your family involved in everything, I want to be the very good familial daughter, that I always just feel so bad for these daughters because they just want to do right by their aunts and their mom, and they don't want to inconvenience them even if it's to their detriment. And so I am really hoping that everything works out this second time around for them. Two very different books, obviously, but we are going to get to work for the day and then enjoy the weekend. So I will see you all in a bit. Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. I am so happy that the weekend is here, but also not really, because there is actually a lot to get done this weekend, and I'm honestly quite sad about it, because I also, sorry, the laundry's going if you can hear that, but I just want a chill weekend, and I want that every single weekend, so it really inconveniences me when I can't have it. But today I'm actually going to go meet my friend Tyler for some coffee, and I'm really excited about that. We hang out a lot in like double date settings, but you know, girl time is always nice too, and it's a coffee shop I haven't been to, so I'm really looking forward to that. But then I am going to come back, and I've already started on my my project for grad school, because I have to fix that piece because it only met expectations, so I need to finish that, and so it gets up to exceeds expectations, because I'm pretty sure my employer pays for my grad school, and so if I get less than I think a B or something like that, then I think they don't pay for it, and I can't have that because I am not that wealthy. So I've already started on that, so I only have a little bit more to do there, and then I also want to start editing this vlog, and then at some point I would also like to read and just kind of have a chill night, because tomorrow is the Super Bowl, so I think we're gonna go hang out actually with Tyler and Sam. So I am very much looking forward to that, but also know that I typically, my Sunday nights are like my extremely chill nights, so I want to make sure that I have some of that tonight. Also, I think I really wanted to get up this morning and really just start knocking things out, and I had to manage my expectations, because honestly, work right now, my like actual corporate 9 to 5, is a lot. I'm currently in the process of transitioning between teams, and what that actually means is that you're doing work for both teams instead of just one, and it has been really eating me up. Like, my anxiety just feels so high, and when your anxiety feels high, your emotions are just higher, and I am a very stable person most of the time, so it really exhausts me when I have such intense emotions. So I had a really tough day yesterday, and so I slept for so long, and I really didn't even want to get up at 7 this morning. I really just wanted to keep sleeping. But we got up, had some coffee, took a shower, I finally washed my hair, and now I've like kind of started getting the day going. So I feel like you can just give yourself a little bit of grace sometimes if you're not on top of it and being like super productive. It's still okay. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else needed to hear that, but I know that I constantly need to hear that because if I'm not at like peak productivity level, and these are just my thoughts, but I have a lot of anxiety around time because it just always feels like time is running out, like there's never enough time. So I try my best to make everything extremely efficient so that I don't waste any time and so I can have more time back for myself and the things that I actually enjoy doing. But I think that I really need to just work on my anxiety with time in general because there is time. Like, there just is time, and if there's not, it's okay. Like, there will be more time later. Like, I don't know. That's just my thought, and I need to work on it because it is very. Sometimes it gets really out of control when I have a lot going on in my life. So yeah, small rant aside, I don't really have much of an update on the book front because we had plans last night and that was really fun. And I actually got a lot of my audiobook done yesterday, which is Dial A for Aunties. So I'm 60% of the way in now. And I just realized that the next book is For Aunties and a Wedding. And then in March, the third book in this little series comes out, and it's called The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties. And I just think that this is so much fun. Like, this is just good, fun, entertaining, cozy reading. Like, this is peak what I'm into. So I am very, very happy with that. And I can't wait to read them all. I'm actually having a similar experience later on today. I'm gonna get some book mail and I will definitely be showing you guys. But I have just been in more of like a cozy mood recently because everything is just so chaotic in life, and I want to just read cozy things that make me feel like warm and fluffy and secure inside, because I think that's why I'm really struggling with the Magnolia Parks universe right now, because I just know it's going to rip my heart out. And so I don't want to read anything that is going to make me that stressed out, but I have to because it's book club and I know I'll enjoy my time with it, but I just wish that I was reading it at a time in my life where I was more stable, maybe, to be able to have that kind of reading going on. It's tough out here. But we're gonna go have coffee and kind of chill out, and then I'm just gonna come home and I'm already comfy, I'm not changing, and just put my headphones in and just get to work and start knocking things out, because it's not gonna get any better if I don't start knocking things out. So let's go do that, and I will talk to you all in a minute. Hi everyone, it's a bit later and I just got some book mail, and I have a couple of other like fun updates, not books unfortunately. Well, not the books that I'm reading update, but I do have book mail, so I wanted to show you all. But first, my husband and I are hosting for Galentine's Day, which is basically book club. Valentine's Day happened to fall on a Wednesday, and so does book club. So we all just decided we were going to keep that up and do, well, the girlies are going to do a Galentine's Day, so I'm very excited about it. And I got them these cute heart crew socks from Target. They were like $5 each. So they're cute, and I love getting more of these kind of socks. They're like perfect for after I shower and I'm just like hanging out, getting ready for bed. And then I got them a Barnes & Noble gift card. And so I'm very excited about it. I can't wait for them to open it. And the gift card is so cute. So very happy with that. $30 gift, and I am very happy, and I hope they will be too, and I hope we can all go to Barnes together and go shopping. So that was that, but then I got a package from Book Outlet because I sometimes I can't help myself. I see the discounts and I know that I'm going to want to read a series, so I just buy the entire series, because if you go to Barnes and you find one paperback and it's an $18 paperback, I might as well buy all three in the series for like $18 and then not have to spend over that for the rest of them. So that's that. And I knew that I wanted to pick up this series because after I finished reading Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, everybody was like, if you like that, you need to read this series. So the whole thing was there. That's out right now. So I picked up Finley Donovan is Killing It, and I'm so excited about it. I am just pumped because everybody says it's so ridiculous, and I am here for it because Dial A for Aunties is pretty ridiculous, and I'm having just such a good time with it. So I knew that I wanted to pick up this series. So we have Finley Donovan is killing it, Finley Donovan knocks him dead, and then Finley Donovan jumps the gun. And I think the fourth book is coming out soon, and that's called Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice. So I am really excited for this series, and I just need something like cozy. We talked about this morning. I just want cozy. So yeah, each of these I think was $7.49, so $7.50. I'm not even gonna do the math, but I know that it was way cheaper than had I bought them all at Barnes. So we're good here. And then because I'm having such a good time with Dial A for Aunties, I picked up Four Aunties and a Wedding by Daisy Haites. And I am just so happy. We already talked about this morning because it was just so endearing what they are doing with this series, and I am loving it. So I can't wait to dive into this. I actually checked Libby this morning and I saw that the audiobook was currently available. So I'm going to try to wrap up Dial A for Aunties so I can jump right into Four Aunties and a Wedding. And then I picked up The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. And this book has always really intrigued me. I believe that it's like a YA mystery and it's set at a boarding school maybe. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I just really love the cover. It's just very vibey. And then the sale that was going on was buy four, get your fifth book free. And so if you got the fifth book, then you didn't hit free shipping. So I had to get another book so that I hit free shipping. And I picked up She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I recently watched Reagan at Peru's Project read this duology, and she loves it. It's more intense, kind of dark, but I think that I'm really going to enjoy it. So that's that. But I opened the book up to see if I could find an explanation of like kind of what it's about so that I could communicate it to people. And I saw this and I looked up her signature and it looks like it's a signed copy. And I'm going to stick by that and live in my little delusional world because that is so freaking cool. How Book Outlet got a signed copy of this, I have no idea, but I am very thankful that it showed up on my front door today. So I got all 6 of these books. It was $40 in total, but I had some points that I used, so it was $35 total. And for 6 books, I am calling that a massive win. But I mean, I'm not trying to buy a ton of books right now. But since that entire series was there and then I wanted Four Aunties and a Wedding, I just had to hit free shipping, and those other 2 books have been on my backlist for a while. So, you know, it was just a good day. It was just a good day for that. So that was awesome. I went to coffee this morning with Tyler and it was lovely. It was actually nice enough to sit outside. Granted, we did get rained on a bit at the end, but that's okay. So we did that. I went and picked up the Barnes gift cards for the girlies, and I'm so excited for Valentine's Day. I think that's going to be so much fun, but I'm even more excited because I did visit the table for Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and everybody's been raving about it, and I can't wait to get into that book. But I want to go on Tuesday because my second new release for February is coming out, and I want that so bad. So that's that. I went there, I resubmitted my project, I edited a video, and put away laundry. So we've had a big day, and it's almost 4 o'clock now, and I think I'm ready to go like horizontal for a little bit and read my book. So let's go do that. Let's get some Daisy and Christian and see what's going on with them. So see you all in a bit. Happy Super Bowl Sunday for all of those who celebrate. We are also going to celebrate, actually. We're going over to our friend's house tonight around 6:30, so we're very excited about that. It's going to be so much fun. Am I only staying until the halftime show though? Absolutely. It's a work night. Come on now. But it's a very rainy Sunday, so it makes it very difficult for me to want to go to the grocery store and stock up for the week. Even Scooty is very sleepy this morning, so last night, Dylan and I stayed up and we watched Barbie, and it was so much fun. I love that movie so much. It always makes me cry. Particularly the part where they talk about mothers standing still so their daughters can look back and see how far they come. Like, oh my gosh, so good. But let's talk about a Daisy Haites update. Okay, so I got about 50%, a little less than, into the book last night and am very much enjoying it. I don't know, like, I'm hoping you all can see the tabs, but I am just having the mess out of it. It is so good. I am loving Christian and Daisy's like relationship, but not relationship because Christian can't own up, and so we get Christian's perspective of like that he feels these things but it's not really working, and like kind of his trauma with feelings. But then we also get Daisy, who's conflicted between her like childhood best friend who she's forbidden to be with, and it's just so interesting. I love Daisy as a character. She is the matriarch, she is fearless and way more relatable, I think, than Magnolia. But it's kind of fun because we get to see interactions that we saw in Magnolia Parks, but through Daisy and Christian's lens. And it's just so funny because like it's just a very different perspective. And we get to see a little bit more why maybe there was tension in those scenes, or like what was happening behind like certain people's heads, and it gives it like another layer of dimension. But I'm really looking forward to see like if this book is going to end at the same time that Magnolia Parks ended, or like where we're going to leave off here. I just have no idea. Okay, I know that the last clip actually cut off, but we are here to wrap up the vlog, so let's talk about what we read this week. First, we started the week by finishing Crescent City House of Flame and Shadow, and I still have a ton of mixed reviews on this because I did have such a good time with it, but I also realized how many like plot holes there were and how much better it could have been. So I definitely struggle with myself there a bit, but I still am giving it a 4-star. I love her universes and her writing, and I just want more of them. So I can't wait to see what she puts out next. Next, I had my second 5-star read of the year, and that was Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. And it's my first ever graphic novel, and I really wish I would have recorded myself when I was reading this book because I was just smiling. My like cheeks even now I feel like are aching because they're just smiling so much, and I was like kicking my feet and giggling. It was just so sweet. Like, I loved it so much, and I've already asked for the second and third book from my friend Darlene, who allowed me to borrow the first one, so I am very much looking forward to jumping into those this coming week. And then for the 2 books that we are in the middle of and going to carry over to next week's vlog, Daisy Haites by Daisy Hastings. And I know that this was the clip where I got cut off, but I just love them. I love them so much. I'm 70% of the way in now, so only about 100 pages left, and I love them. I do, and I just can't wait to see what comes next. I feel like we're gonna end this book similar to how Magnolia Parks ended, and I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for the shredding and the ripping out of my heart, but I think that I'm gonna get it pretty soon. And then lastly, I'm also about 70% into the audiobook for Dial A for Aunties by Daisy Haites, and I am also loving this one. It is just so much fun. So I really can't wait to continue on with this book and then also this series, because I think that the 3rd book is coming out in March. So I want to get caught up this month, honestly. And that is what we read this week. So a pretty good week overall. I am going to count it as a win, and especially because the Crescent City journey is over now, and I can go back to reading books that are not 800 pages apiece. Let me know what you ended up reading this week and what your favorite book was. Mine was definitely Heartstopper. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.